Hey guys, welcome back. So I'm excited for today's video because I'm going to take you on a little journey through my thought process. In a minute, I'm going to do a screen share with you, and I'm going to share with you a few random products. These aren't hand-picked products. We're going to go and find some random products. And I'm just going to share with you like what is going through my mind. You know, like, what do I think of this product? Is it a viable option? Is it not? What could be improved? What's great about it? And just kind of share with you that thought process. And the purpose behind this video is just that, you know, if you're doing product research, this can help you. You know, this can give you a new perspective when you are looking at products. Having said that, this is simply my opinion. It doesn't mean that it's right, doesn't mean that it's wrong, doesn't mean that just because I would do a product that you should do it. This is simply me just sharing with you what's going on through my mind. So without further ado, let's jump into the screen share portion and let's look at some products together. Okay, so I'm here on Amazon.com and I found this section called the bargain finds, which is new to me. And this is where you can find low priced items with free shipping. So $3, $15 for a dress, $11 for a dress, that is cheap. Now, my first piece of advice to you as someone who's looking to sell on Amazon and use FBA, which stands for Fulfillment by Amazon, which means that Amazon's going to pick, pack, and ship all of your inventory. That comes at a cost. And if you're going to be using FBA, you probably don't want to sell items that are $3 or $11 because there's not going to be much profit in that. Not only do you have cost of goods sold, but you also have marketing expenses and then all of the fees, you know, that you're paying Amazon. And so when you're selling a product at only $11, you know, the profit margins are going to be so slim that you're going to have to sell a very large quantity in order to make significant profit that is going to make a difference. So my opinion is that it's much better. It makes more sense in terms of like your time investment to go for a product that's selling between, you know, $19 to maybe $60 on Amazon, because that means that you're not going to have to sell thousands and thousands of units to actually make a decent profit. So that's why when, you know, I talk about Amazon FBA, you need to have a certain amount of money to get started. This isn't a business model that you can start with no money. You can't be broke and start Amazon FBA. I was pretty broke when I started 5 years ago, but that was 5 years ago. The game has changed. Yes, there are more people selling on Amazon. Yes, it is more competitive. No, that does not mean that it's no longer an opportunity. It's still a huge opportunity, but you got to adapt. You got to catch up. You got to see where things have changed. And one of the things that has changed is that it's going to require more of an investment to get started with this business. So I usually recommend around $2,500 as a comfortable place to start. That's not including a training program if you decide to go that route. Now, if you are persistent and you want to start this business and you don't have, you know, that capital to get started, then, you know, maybe you could consider sourcing a product that is selling for $11, $15, $3. You're probably not going to make much money from it. But what's even more valuable than the money that you'd make is the experience that you'll gain. And that might sound cheesy to you now because right now you're just looking to make money. But trust me, once you learn the process of private labeling a product, sourcing it, selling it on Amazon, marketing it, that whole process, you learn it once, you learn it twice, you rinse and repeat. Then you go with your second product. Maybe it's a product that, you know, sells at a little bit of a higher ticket because maybe now you have a little bit more money to invest. You do the same thing and then you make more money and then you invest in another product. The process remains the same. Not much has changed in terms of the process. So it's a step-by-step process. Once you learn that, that's the value, that's valuable. So if you are looking to get started with you know, less money, then maybe sourcing a cheaper product might be worth it for you, or just start with some other business model. You can do drop shipping. You know, there's so many other things that you could do with an online business in order to get started with less funds. Okay, so having said that, so I wouldn't even consider, you know, any of these items because they're just selling at such a low price. In addition to that, they are clothing items, the majority of them. I wouldn't recommend selling textiles. Textiles are considered like anything that's woven, like, you know, a dress or a shirt or a blanket, those are considered textiles. And the reason why I wouldn't recommend textiles to you as a brand new seller, meaning you don't have experience with selling on Amazon, is simply that there are extra requirements for selling those types of items. So there's additional labeling requirements, and you have to potentially pay higher import duties. So if you're importing them from another country, then you might have to pay, more duties, and it can cost you more money than you initially anticipated if you didn't calculate that correctly. So my advice is to avoid the textiles as a new seller. Once you gain some more experience, you don't have to be so conservative with all of these rules because you now have that experience under your belt. You can make more educated decisions. And, like as a new seller, there's going to be a lot of rules. That's why I recommend that you do take a course, because like right now, if you're watching YouTube videos, you might not know, like there's a certain criteria that you need to look for when you're sourcing a product to sell on Amazon. It's not just like, oh, I love these blue light blocking glasses. I'm going to go private label my own glasses and sell them on Amazon. It very rarely works out like that. You have to first see if there's demand on Amazon. You have to see what the product viability is. You have to see, okay, what are the profit margins? Do all of these calculations. There's a lot of things to consider when you choose a product. You don't just pick a product because you love it, because your family loves it. No. So that's why it's like good to take a course, but I'm not going to pitch anything to you today. I'm just going to share with you like my perspective. So let's go and find a few products on Amazon's website. Let's do like last minute deals maybe. And I'm going to give you my opinion on these products, just like my perspective, my point of view. Okay, so how about something like this? This is kind of cool. What is this? Looks like a goggles. Does it actually have that picture on it, or is that just what they're showing? Yeah, so it doesn't actually have that picture on it. That's your view when you wear the goggles. Okay, so these are snowboard snow goggles. So first things first, I'm going to look at the product itself. Before I look at the numbers, if I see if it's profitable, I'm just going to look at the general product itself and see if it's something that works for me as a new seller. So when I'm looking at this product, I'm saying, okay, it's a relatively small product, so it's something that I could hold in my hand, which is good. Small is always better than large, because the bigger the product, the wonkier the dimensions, like strange dimensions, it's gonna cost you more money, because your product has to go and be sitting in the Amazon warehouse, and they charge you for that space. And if it takes up a lot of space, you're going to be spending more money. In addition, if the product is heavy, it's going to cost you more money to ship. So I always think like the smaller product, the better. The lighter the weight, the better. Anything that's like above 2.5 pounds, I'm more hesitant. Because I know it's just going to cost me more money to ship it, especially if I'm importing this overseas. If I'm sourcing in China, shipping it to the US, that can cost me a lot of money because it's a heavier product. So dimensions and weight is something I always consider when I'm looking at a product. I'm just going to look at their images and just kind of see what it's all about. So, I mean, the product itself is something that I could definitely source, find a supplier easily, because it's just a simple product, so the simpler the product, the better. It's not a technical product. So if I compare this to, for example, this thing over here, it's like I don't even know what it's called, but basically you put it in your ears. Oh, it's called the human charger. You put it in your ears and it's supposed to be good for your brain. So this little thing is a technical product, right? Maybe it's a great product to sell on Amazon. Maybe it's doing really well, but the nature of this product, just the fact that it's a piece of technology, there's like a computer in here, that alone means that there's probably higher chances that there's going to be issues with the technology. Maybe something will break. There's more parts that are included in it. So it's more of a complex product. So the simpler the product, the better. And these goggles are fairly simple. It's just it's just goggles. So it's not that complex. I do see though that there is, you know, glass. I don't know if that's plastic or if that's glass. I'm assuming that it is plastic and not glass. If it's glass, I would be wary about it just because I don't like shipping glass. You know, when you're shipping glass, you have to have extra protection around the product. Oftentimes that means that your product packaging is bigger than it needs to be just because you're really trying to protect the product. If you don't protect it well, then there can be breakage. So that means inventory, you know, money, you know, going down the drain because there's breakage in your inventory. So I'm just going to read about the product a little bit. Now, look at this. So look at all of these different colors that you can choose from. Very cool as the buyer, as the consumer, because I have all of these options. But for you as a seller, this is a red flag because in order to compete with this person, you'd have to have the same number of options available. So we call these variations. So this is a, you know, the one product, it's the goggles, you know, Zion Noir, that's the brand. They're selling goggles, but there's a variation of the goggles. Each one of these is a different color, is a different size, I think. And so these are called parent-child variations. And as a new seller, you want to stay away from variations because, first of all, it's hard to tell which variation is the best seller. And secondly, I mean, it's hard enough, you know, to learn how to source and sell a product on Amazon. It's a whole new learning curve. You know, you're learning everything for the first time. Let's just do it with one product. Don't make your life complicating and trying to do it for 10, 20 products, because essentially each one of these are its own product. Even though they're basically the same product, they're still their own products, and you have to pay for that inventory up front. Remember, when you're private labeling a product, this is very different than drop shipping. You are placing an order and you're paying for that stock before you ever sell a piece on Amazon. So when you have all these variations and now you have to order all of this stock, that is just kind of, that would give me anxiety. That puts me more at risk because now there's more pressure to make this, to sell this product and to do really well with this product. And for me in the beginning, I want to reduce my risk as much as possible. And so I'm going to order a smaller quantity. I want to prove my concept on Amazon. I want to make it work. And once I prove myself, I'm going to order larger quantities of that product. So it's just that the risk gets reduced. So I wouldn't do this product simply because of all of the variations. But maybe we can look down here and we can get some ideas about this product. So one thing I like to do is I like to look at the questions. So these are questions written by customers. They're asking the seller, hey, I have a question, please answer it. And so usually that can give me a good idea of, okay, how could I improve this product? Because at the end of the day, the greatest way to be a huge success on Amazon, it's to not just private label the same product that's already out there. If you're just gonna go and produce the same ski goggles that this person has, then why is a customer gonna buy your product over their product when they have, you know, tons of reviews and social proof and they're already an established seller? There's no reason for them to buy your product. So your goal is to now differentiate yourself. Your goal is to add more value, to have a higher quality product, to be better than your competitors. And so one way to do that is to look at the reviews and look at the questions as well. So for example, this person says, will this fit over glasses? So it seems like, you know, this person has glasses and they want to know, can I wear this ski goggle over glasses? And if this seller says, no, you can't, then for me, that might be something I jot down in my notebook and say, maybe I should, if I do decide to pursue this product, one thing I could do to improve it is make it so that it fits over glasses. If there's enough people requesting this. If it's just one person, then that's not enough for me to actually make that adjustment to the product. Cool. So then I would also look down here at like the 1-star reviews. So you can see here that people aren't that happy. Like they're very happy with the comfort. They're very happy with the value for the money, but the durability, it got a lower rating, 4.5. But what I want to do is I want to read the reviews, but I want to read the 1-star reviews. I want to see what people were not happy with this product, because when I see what they weren't happy with, again, I can take notes of that. And if I decide to pursue this product, I could then ask the supplier, hey, do you think you could make this amendment? Do you think you could make this change? And if so, what's that going to cost me? Because oftentimes it is worth making that change, but if it's going to cost you too much and dig into your profit margins and you're no longer profitable, then it doesn't make sense to pursue that product. So you want to know how much that change will cost you and if it's worthwhile. So you can see what the negative reviews are. They're saying that it was foggy for them, caused them to crash. The best part was Amazon returns. So these are going to give me ideas about this product. So anyways, let's move on to another product, because this is a product I would not do as a first-time seller. Okay, let's look at this one. This is a sculpting tool for pottery. So at first glance, I see like a lot of different pieces. And again, going back to the simplicity of a product, I don't like seeing a ton of pieces because that just creates more room for error. Maybe the supplier, forgets to insert a piece, or a piece was not done well, manufacturing problem, whatever it may be. But that doesn't mean that this product is not a viable option. It's just something to note, in your conscious, in your mind, when looking through this listing. So this is cool. It comes with a carrying case. Very cool. Wow, very nice. And it comes with that. So it seems like it really does add a lot of value to the customer. For only 32 bucks, they're getting all of this. So I wonder, what's this person's profit margin? Because that looks like it would be kind of expensive to source. I'd be curious about that. But this is definitely still an option. I wonder if any of these products would be, considered knives. I think this one right here on the very far left, it looks like a knife. So that might cause some issues at the border when you're importing with customs. Maybe not, but it's something to consider and maybe look into. Okay, cool. So this is just like, I have Helium 10 and Jungle Scout plugins attached to my computer, which pulls up all of like this history and sales information, which is really handy. Like if you are doing product research, I strongly suggest you get Helium 10 or Jungle Scout. They're both great because it's just going to make your life so much easier. You're going to save you so much time, and it makes sense. I will link them down below for you because I'm an affiliate for them, and so they give me a really good discount to give to my subscribers, which you just won't get anywhere else. Okay, so we can see the sales history, which is always handy to have, but I'm not going to like show you this because you might not have this plugin. Also shows you like potentially what the profit margins are. Now I will say that, you never really know what the profit margins are until you contact suppliers. So at this point, I can only guess the profit margins. It's not until I actually reach out to the suppliers and they give me answers. Like a lot of people will go to Alibaba.com and okay, so a lot of people will go to Alibaba.com. They'll say, listen, I want to source this clay sculpting tools kit. I'm going to go there and I'm going to see how much they're selling them for on Alibaba. So you can see here, you can try your best to find some seller who's selling similar to the listing that you are trying to kind of model. So this might be similar. It's not the same case, but it's similar. And then you might say, okay, so it costs $6.90 to $7.90 per piece. And then you're going to put that calculation, you're going to write that down in your notebook and you're going to calculate your profit margins. But that is not the right way to do that. This quote here is usually never accurate. You have to actually contact the supplier directly, tell them this is how many units I want to order. And I want to put my brand name on the product because it costs you more money to add your brand name to the product. And what's the MOQ. how much is it going to cost, and what's the MOQ? The MOQ stands for minimum order quantity, because each supplier will say, no, you can't just order 20 pieces. You have to order a minimum of 500 or a minimum of 1,000. Each supplier is different. So it's important to find the price directly from the supplier, because if you're just browsing Alibaba or some other sourcing platform, you're just never going to have an accurate estimate of how much the product cost. So definitely contact suppliers once you've narrowed down your list to like your top 3 products that you might want to source and then sell on Amazon. Then contact suppliers requesting that information. Okay, let's move on to another product. This is palm leaves. So these are, I think, plastic palm leaves. And we can see that they're being used on tables. Looks pretty cool, actually. So people are using them for arts and crafts in a variety of different reasons. Now, the first thing I really like about this product is, again, the simplicity of the product. Very simple, very basic, probably very cheap and expensive to manufacture. Also flexible, so you can package it the way you want. Probably lightweight, so the shipping's not going to be a lot. And there's potential here. I see potential. I see that this listing, they don't have any bonuses that they're including with it. And bonuses are really a great way to stand out, to differentiate yourself from other Amazon sellers. So I could say, you know what? I could improve this product by simply adding a bonus. And what's something that the customers who are buying this product would really appreciate? And maybe I could say, okay, well, they're using this product as like a placemat for the food. So maybe I could include like, whatever those things are called, to hold the cutlery or to hold the napkins together. And maybe it could be also like a leaf or something to add as an addition, a bonus. It's free, it comes with my product, but it helps me stand out from my competitors, who are these guys right here. So I could just see, there's definitely room for improvement, especially with their listing. So this person said, hey, do the leaves float in a pool? And they don't float in a pool. So maybe that's something I could see if my supplier could do for me, right? If I were to source this product, maybe I could have the leaves, make them floatable, if that's the word. And then that could be, something that I would advertise on my listing. So aside from looking at the product itself, one thing I really like to do is I do like to use my extensions. So I'll use Jungle Scout or Helium 10. And I know not everyone has this, but I do recommend that you get it. And I'm just going to show you why. So for example, now if I'm contemplating selling this product, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, the main keyword, which is palm leaves. And you know what the main keyword is just because like when you think about what the product is, like they're palm leaves. They're palm leaves. So that's the main keyword. For example, this one, what's the main keyword of this? Well, it's not bliss time. It's called clay sculpting tool. That's the main keyword. So it's usually quite obvious. So take the main keyword, paste it into Amazon, go to all departments, and then search. So now I can see all of the different sellers selling this product. I can see what their images look like. I can see how different sellers are including variations of this product. So this one has 16 pieces of this, this, and this. So that's interesting. That tells me that maybe that's what the customers want. They want more variety. They don't just want one type of palm leaf. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up my plugin. So this is Jungle Scout. Okay. My connection's a bit slow today, my internet, so please forgive the delay. Okay, so right off the bat, I'm seeing what the average selling price is, which is about $12. Not a whole lot of reviews, so most of these listings don't have a lot of reviews, and that's good for me because that tells me that there's low competition. And when there's low competition, it's easier for me to now insert myself and rank to page number 1, which is where we all want to be at some point. So what I would do here is a few different things. Number 1 is I like to look at the rank. So the lower the BSR, this stands for best sellers rank, the lower it is, the better that product is selling on Amazon. The higher it is, the worse that it's selling on Amazon. So you want the BSR to be low. So I can see here that, for example, this BSR, $753,000, their estimated monthly revenue is about $0. So they're not doing very well. That's what their listing looks like. So I'm gonna do it this way. So I can see here that it's not always, you know, how much, for example, this is 19,000, but their estimated monthly revenue is about 2,500. Here, theirs is 41,000, so about double the BSR, but they're making more in sales. And that just might be because it's a sponsored product. So when you're doing your calculations, when you're looking for products, you don't want to take into account the sponsored products, which means that people are paying for their product to be, you know, seen. They're paying for ads. So it skews the results. So you don't really want to consider those. So I'm just going to exit the sponsored products from my search. Okay, so now none of these products are sponsored. So I can see here that this is what the monthly revenue is for these products, and it's really low. Like, here's the thing, is that yes, this could be a good product for you if you have, you know, a small budget and you're just looking to get started, and you know, you want to get into a category that doesn't have a lot of competition, make it easy on yourself, then sure, this could be good. But don't expect to make a fortune with this, and don't expect, you know, there's not much potential here. Because when we look at it, we can see like the one who's earning the most money, the most that they're earning is $6,500 a month in revenue. That's not even profit. So that's just not a whole lot. And so that just tells me that the potential with this product niche is not huge. It's not like you can scale this product and make $50,000, $100,000 a month in revenue. But that might be okay. That might be great for you as a first-time seller. You know, again, learn from the process of selling on Amazon, gain some experience. Maybe you don't make anything with this product. Maybe you just break even with the entire thing, but at least you've learned the process and you didn't make any really big costly mistakes because the inventory was cheap, whatever it may be. This could be a good option from that regard. But if you're looking at it and you're looking at, hey, I want to find a product that has potential, a product that maybe I could brand as a premium product in the future, charge a higher price for it in the future, then this is not it. Because when I look at the other sellers and I look at who's making the most money here, you know, what is that cap? Is there any variety in the pricing, variety in the sales? And I'm just not seeing that here. So not a great product for, you know, if you really want something that has a lot of potential, but could be a decent product to start with just to get your feet wet. Now, on the other hand, let's look at this gold plastic plates. So this product, let's just see how they're doing. We're gonna use the same example with Jungle Scout. Okay, so au contraire, look at this product. This listing is doing $80,000 a month. You know, these are estimates, but they're pretty accurate. This one's doing $105,000 a month. So in comparison to the palm leaves, which, you know, the max was like $6,000 a month, this product niche has more potential. So I like that. When I'm looking at the grand scheme of things, I want to see that. Plus, you know, the reason for that is you can sell them at a much more premium price. There's more variety in the pricing. I'm seeing some of them sold for $18.99. I'm seeing some of them sold for $54.99. So there is an opportunity for you to maybe, you know, when you first launch, you sell this product at $19.99, but eventually, as you build more of a brand presence, you improve the product quality based on the customer's feedback, you can later price it at more of a premium price, $54.99, because we can tell the data shows us that people are willing to pay more for this product. Maybe people are just not willing to pay more for palm leaves. They don't care. They don't care if it's higher quality. They just want the palm leaves for decoration. They're going to tear it down once the party's done. But with these plates, people obviously have more interest in the quality or whatever it may be. So this just gives me a really good indication of my opportunity with this product in the future. So I like that. Another thing I want to look at here, like the dimensions, there's certain dimensions where they become oversized. We don't really want to source an oversized product. But also, look here, 9.6 pounds. That's very heavy. So this product is selling at $28.99. If it's 9.6 pounds, that's going to really eat into their profit margins. So yes, they might be, you know, for example, this person here, they're selling $105,000 a month, but their product is 13.15 pounds. So we have to really calculate the profit margins accurately, because for $54.99, I wonder how much of that profit is taken by the shipping cost. So it's really important, like you can't just like look at the product, you know, and just assume things. You really got to go deep with your research. So anyways, that's Jungle Scout. I love to look at that. Like that, I definitely use Jungle Scout and Helium-10 for my product research. But again, just giving you an idea when it comes to products. So like I always look to see where the opportunity is to differentiate, where the opportunity is to just add more value to the customer. I don't want to make this video too long, but that's a bit of my thought process when it comes to finding a product. There definitely is a lot more that goes into it than just, you know, I love this hairbrush, I'm going to sell this hairbrush. It really does not work like that. That's why if you're doing Amazon FBA, it's not necessarily the place to become the pioneer. You're not trying to invent a product, to release a product that's never been released before. The idea is to look and see history, you know, see how other people are doing. Has someone else sold this product? If so, what was their success with that product? Because that's probably a good indication of what the demand is on Amazon. What do people want? So I always like to learn from others, and whenever you have an opportunity to model others, do that, because that's going to be the fastest way to success. You know, if you have to bushwhack and pave your own way, that's going to take you so much longer than if you go down a path that's already been paved. So yeah, that's that. Well, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below what you thought, if you have any questions. And if you are looking to start your Amazon FBA business in 2020, then yeah, go for it. It's still a huge opportunity. Don't let the naysayers who say, oh, it's oversaturated, there's no more opportunity, there's too much competition. You know, that's not true. Yes, the game has changed. It's different than it was 5 years ago, but that's why we have to evolve and adapt, and we have to change the strategies and the techniques that we're doing. And if you do that, you can have tremendous success selling on Amazon, building your own business, becoming an entrepreneur. Because at the end of the day, when you take your finances into your own hands, that's when you have power, and that's when you have the freedom to create the lifestyle that you want. So I'm going to help you get started. I have a small free video training for you. You can go to tatianajames.com/free training. You can find, I'm going to be sending you emails every week where you get to know a bit more about this business, how to kind of get your foot in the door and get the ball rolling. So hopefully it helps you. I'll put it in the description box below. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.